Welcome, y'all. Episode 3, Life Abroad in Portugal. We have a very, very special guest here.
Aww.
We are here with singer, songwriter, mental health advocate, GIEL. How you doing today?
I'm good.
Good,
What
good.
an intro.
Yeah. So, how you doing today? How's everything?
Everything is good. Today I checked my mental health, like for big facts. I was like, okay, how am I feeling today? And I woke up with a lot of good energy.
Okay.
And just feeling focused on a few things. I didn't get to do all that I wanted to do today, but
Okay.
I'm giving myself grace.
Hey.
And I'm like, this is what I've accomplished today, and I feel good.
Hey, give yourself grace. There you go. Baby steps. So, listen, let's get into it. So, life abroad in Portugal. So, we were talking about people's experience here in Portugal, moving abroad, what it's like. So, tell me, how did you give us the backstory? Why Portugal? How did you end up in Portugal? Yeah, let's.
I really hate when people ask me this question because I don't have a really cool answer. Just
Okay.
be like,
Okay.
Portugal because this. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, I was already at a place where I was ready to like just start anew. I have always wanted to live abroad. I think I did live abroad about 10 years ago. I was living in Barcelona.
Okay.
And
Hey.
I really felt like this was going to be something I was going to go back to Barcelona, but I didn't.
Okay.
And I've also lived in Costa Rica, and I thought I was going to go to Costa Rica.
Okay.
So the international life wasn't far from me. I was ready. So how Portugal came about, I guess you could say, I kept seeing a lot of things about Portugal, like online. It was on my algorithms, and to be honest, Irish Journey was like always popping up. And I was like, dude,
Yep.
who are these? Now they're like people we know, which is so weird. It's like to be
Blessing.
living here and be like, oh shoot. But watching other people like Cinnamon, just there were people who were thriving over here that I was like, what's going on? I haven't been to Portugal in a long time, and so I wanted to come back and check it out like on a regular basis.
Okay.
So I had been here before when I toured musically 3 different times, but it was not enough to enjoy the country. So let's just say I got here because in a time I was ready for change, it just kept highlighting over and over for me, and I was like, you know what, let's see what's going on over Portugal. So I booked a ticket for 30 days just for vacation.
Okay.
Literally just vacation.
Yeah.
And
That's how it starts.
that's exactly how it started. And by the end of the trip, I had such an amazing time and looked at life here abroad and also saw people who looked like me. And I was like, I could do this. So I was looking for an apartment like after 30 days.
Okay, wow. Okay, so when was this 30-day trip? When
In
was
October of 2021.
So before or after COVID?
Right after COVID. It was literally when they opened the doors. Like this was, we were still wearing masks. We were still not able to like congregate more than 30 people. If you had anyone, there was definitely nothing happening like indoors.
Yeah.
You can only, like, if you were going to go out to the club or anything like that, or have functions or parties, it had to be outdoors or less than 30 people or 30 people or something like that. That was the restriction at the time.
Wow. Okay. So you here post-COVID time.
Post-COVID. So you still had to show your, like even when I went out to eat at cafes and things, I had to wear my mask, and I also had to show my immunization card.
Okay.
So it was still a big deal.
Oh man.
It was really crazy.
Okay.
But I got in and I was like, ooh.
Yeah, you was like,
I just have to stay.
Hey, okay. So, and where were you coming from?
Miami.
Okay,
Florida, yeah,
so Florida in the house. So
by way of Tampa now, because I was living in Tampa for a while, for 7 years. And then I sold my house and went to stay with family for a while. And I was like, gosh, what am I going to do with my life?
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, I was already ready.
Ready for
time for something, and this just happened to be the shift I made.
Wow. So it's like you made the shift and kind of everything was aligning.
Everything aligned. Even down to like, I got this tattoo, which is so crazy. This is like my final, like the aha moment for me. But I got this tattoo to say, okay, I'm gonna travel the world. I had all intentions of just doing the digital nomad thing.
Yep.
But had such a good time here, I was like, okay, great. But right before I left, I got this tattoo, and did not know that the little plane on here is actually going to Portugal. Like,
wow. we'll do a zoom in at the end.
Yeah, no, every
That's
time I tell that story,
that's crazy.
I'm like, it was really like ordained for me to be here.
That's God
really
moving.
Right. He was like, let me just put you over here in this little land where I really want you to thrive. So
wow, that's beautiful. So let's touch on Portugal. So you got transition. What would you say you love most about being in Portugal?
Quality of life, living, quality of life. I think that was so detrimental for me. Hence the whole mental health advocacy coming about. I had no idea how badly I needed to stop and rest and to just recuperate and also heal. Like there was just in America, I was going from one trauma to the next and not even understanding. Just kept going like a bulldozer. Like this happened. Okay, well, gotta keep going. This happened. Oh my God. Well, that sucks. This happened. It was one thing after another. And when I got here, it was as if the quality of life was so sweet and so slow and forced me to really be in my own thoughts about things. And that's when everything started to surface and I thought I was going crazy. I thought I was going to die because I was like, what in the world?
Hey, we got to be with our minds. So, okay, wow. Okay, so let's touch on the mental health. I think this is the time, you know, she got her drip on, Rain Well, so I'll let her talk about it. But I'm a big fan.
Thank you.
Shout out to her. I was at the Web Summit last week. She did an amazing job. We'll also show this as well. So talk about it. How did Rain? I know how it came about, but they don't know. So how did that come about?
Rain Well is still unfolding, but the best way I can explain it is to say Rain Well is from a personal journey of mine. Aside from that catch up that I mentioned, as far as you know, just really didn't realize how much my mental health had been deteriorating in this U.S. Just had no time
to even think about it.
Think about it or deal with it, right? So when I had nothing but time, it attacked me. It attacked me quite viciously to the point where
what attacked you? Sorry.
Everything that I dealt with, my mental, I guess you can say, the traumas that I had not been dealing with for the last 7 years, probably just really like
just came about.
Oh, like it didn't even upcut me. It took my legs out from underneath me. Damn. And I did not understand what I was dealing with, and that's something that I realized was a problem too. It's like the fact that I couldn't even identify that I was grieving, I was coping with all different types of loss, levels of loss, from life, job, finance, money, loved ones, a pet, changing from another country, relocating. There was just so much that happened like this that had a lot of highs. Like the dopamine levels were great. It felt amazing. But then the quiet was like terror for me. And it was difficult to actually to put words to it. Okay. And so upon trying to figure that out and trying to tell people closest to me, because I did, create friendships and, relationships here, trying to tell people, hey, this is what happened. I feel a little bit, I don't know. Telling my family, it seemed like nobody really had an answer. Like everybody just saw me as being odd or not myself. So they were like, dang, for some reason Giles acting real weird, like she's not herself. She don't come out anymore, or Dad, she doesn't even like respond to my messages or something. But it wasn't that I was not, or present or trying. I was drowning. And I didn't know what was happening. And that really came to a head at the top of this year, when my nephew, who was also suffering from depression and didn't know that he was, unfortunately, he took his own life. And it was extremely difficult, because even still trying to process that, away, living here. My son and him grew up. They were, together. They're like just 3-4 years apart. And so it was probably the craziest. If I was drowning before then,
that hit the block.
Yeah, I was in a coma after that. So, and still processing it is just awkward. You know what I mean? Like, who knows how you're supposed to grieve? Who really knows how you're supposed to grieve? And I realized that nobody in our family really knew what to do with that. No one knew, no one knew what to say to each other. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And when I went home for the funeral, I realized that, the family comes together and everybody's there. I realized that there were so many of us in our family alone, let alone my personal family alone, who were struggling with depression in the worst ways, and no one had said anything about anything.
Wow, we're all keeping it in.
Right. And I think that's also like a challenge because there's the stigmas, you know, about the African American culture or just the Black diaspora in general. Like we don't always see the need for talking about our feelings or identifying that something's off. Like you just feel like, oh, I'm not myself today, or I'm low energy, and you think that, oh, you can go to sleep and it'd be all right. You just start the next day. But there's processing that has to happen. So even in that one little gathering, I had found out that there were cells of us, like as in this part of the family, this part of the family, this part of the family. There was somebody directly dealing with depression, anxiety, and suicidal thoughts on a unreal level, just unrealistic. And none of us knew. And the only reason why we were talking about it was because someone in our family had actually taken their life from it.
Your nephew,
And it was so scary. It was really, I still get really emotional about it. But so, Rainbow basically came out of the healing process of that, and me just trying to find therapy, realizing that one, I didn't know how to do that being over here. Two, my financial situation had changed, so I wasn't able to get the kind of help that I was used to maybe paying for if I needed it. So now it's like, oh wait, so how does that work over here?
Like,
I don't quite have health care. I'm in the healthcare system, the NHS system, but I'm not quite in the healthcare system. So how does that work? And this is how I've discovered that a lot of people here in Portugal are actually really challenged with this part of healthcare because they're put on a wait list. They're actually put on a wait list to, see someone, and sometimes that list is as long as a year to a year and a half out.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I'm thinking about my nephew. I'm thinking about me and how the struggle it was. And like, I can't imagine if I had to wait another year and a half based off of what I was dealing with already, where here I was isolated here in another country, just not knowing what to do. I had to do a lot of praying and fasting and asking God to really help me see what in the world that I can do. Because no one knew. No one had answers for me. I had to give that little backstory so you can understand the deepness of it. Thank you. But ultimately, coming out of that really heavy depression, I realized there is a need for help. I was the person who needed it. I needed someone to tell me where to go. I needed someone to give me information. And more importantly, I really wanted to see or speak to someone I could trust, someone who looked like me, someone who could understand what I'm going through. And a lot of the different things I tried to use online were more meditation based or overly spiritual, like as in, doing with astrology and spirituality. And it's like, man, there's only all these little sections. Why can't I go somewhere to find any of it so I can choose? Why do I have to search so hard to get help? And so this is where Rainwell came. It was like, if someone said to me, matter of fact, Shar, shouts out to Shar, I love her.
Shar, you are amazing.
We love you, Shar. She's been my accountability partner. She's been a friend. She's been a wonderful synergistic,
she's amazing.
Personality to be with. And anyway, one day she just told me, because I had told her, I was like, I'm having a hard time finding someone that I can talk to. It's either not in my budget to do, or it's not a Black person, or it's just like unrealistic what they're asking of me. And she said, you know what? When you can't find what you're looking for, sometimes you just gotta build it. I will never forget that she said that to me. And I was like,
Sharpie dropping, right. What?
Sharpie dropping
gems.
So I was like, wow, you're right. And so I was like, what does that look like? And so then now I feel like, and although I'm still, navigating my grief, navigating my the reality that I have been suffering from depression for years and had not ever really, noticed. Suffering from post-traumatic stress, trauma, so many different things that I didn't realize I was dealing with. Through that, I found purpose. Like Rainwell became this focus for me to say, I don't want somebody else to go through what I went through, that I couldn't find anything.
Yeah.
How can I gather these resources and make them available in one space so that someone doesn't have to do all this extra work? Google is great, but I mean, come on, like, you're ready. You know, when you're in need, when you're hurting, when you can't see, you know, in front of you 10 feet because the grief is so heavy, you shouldn't have to work that hard to try to get help.
Wow.
So
you preaching right now.
So Rain Well is an AI-powered web application that is geared to the African diaspora, specifically creatives, people like myself, and people who are creative minds, and from everything from art, entertainment, to music, to our community, and others, because we're all creative on some level, right?
Yeah.
But it's specifically geared for them to find the resources that they need affordably, and also have other wellness activities included with it. Because a creative mind needs more than just a one-dimensional way of help.
Okay.
So Rain Well came at this. I wanted to present a platform for people of color to balance themselves, get the resources they need so that they can reign well in their lives.
Nah, that is amazing.
We're kings and queens, and we should be operating as such, but the crown is heavy at times.
Yeah, the crown is, wow, that's special. So, and this was all while you were in Portugal, right?
All while I was in Portugal.
Okay, so it's kind of like Cole said, there's beauty in the struggle.
Ooh,
you know?
yes.
Like, and you found, again, very sorry about your nephew, you know? With that loss and that grief and that gathering with your family, it was like you found purpose through that, and it's growing and will continue to grow. So, wow. So now, I mean, I didn't know all that. Like, I knew from the website, you know. So Rain Well, is it kind of alluding to rain as in crying?
No,
well,
reign as in REIGN, which is to reign, like in authority.
Oh, okay.
In position, in leadership, in having control, or having the one who leads. Your king may reign, your queen may reign.
Yeah.
So this is to say, this is you moving into a position of power in your own life and gathering the resources so that you can reign well in every area of your life.
Wow.
Whether it's from, you know, activities, your mental, your daily, your work, everything, you can balance those things with the resources available. Wow,
that's amazing. So let's touch upon the site and the platform, right? So is it let's say someone wanted to go on and find a counselor, a therapist, someone to speak with, right? Is it geared, I know you said the African diaspora, but are these in person? Is it Zoom? Is it for like digital nomads? Like, kind of, if you could touch on that.
It's a little bit of everything. So yes, we've been collecting, the database has been growing. So first and foremost, if you are in the mental health space, if you're a wellness provider, this is what I'm calling wellness provider, because wellness provider can look like anything. It can be everything from a religious leader to a therapist, someone who operates in movement and nutrition. If you're in the wellness space, we're looking to add you to the database. So that's it. So the way it works basically is someone of color and of the African diaspora, and I've even been approached by the Asian community about this too, because they've actually said, hey, we're of color as well, which I thought was interesting during Web Summit. And that's going to open up whole new conversations. Right? The Asian and the Indian diaspora, which is really amazing. My focus has been, of course, the African diaspora, because we're suffering. We're not talking about it. We're not dealing with it, and we're not finding the help we need. So they go on the website. They are able to either connect with one of the wellness providers, whether it's a therapist or a mentor, if it's a coach or a spiritual leader.
So I like that.
Especially because for the African diaspora, since you can't just jump to, take a session with a therapist. Some people have a lot of reluctancy to actually sit and tell a stranger their life story.
Yes.
But they're more likely, because of our upbringing and how we have coped in the past, talk to a spiritual advisor or someone who operates in maybe a faith that they also believe in. This way, they are now able to slowly move toward other types of therapy that can also, they learn along as they go.
Yeah.
So they can choose a therapist, or they can also choose another wellness activity, which can be everything from plant therapy to music therapy, art therapy, nutrition and movement, exercising, and things of that nature. And just anything that's going to help keep you balanced and well in your total being.
Yeah. So. Woo, Ray well. Listen.
We trying.
Yeah. See, I didn't know all of that in terms of the different wellness activities.
Yeah.
And I actually was just talking to my homegirl, like, yo, I need some different type of wellness therapy, you know. So she's very big on plants, so
there you go.
I'm gonna just check out this plant therapy. So
absolutely,
you know,
I mean, you can see I have like plants.
Yeah,
in my house, right?
you know.
But
so
all these are things. When it came to building what you don't see, you know, with Rainwell, these are things that were working for me.
Yeah.
These were things that I found when I sat down with my pen and paper and drew something, I was able to bring my mind in, and I could think. My thoughts are now all over the place. So in those moments I felt anxious, I was able to operate in art therapy, which I didn't even think was something that could help me until I actually did it. And I was like, wow, I really feel better after doing this.
Yeah.
You know, same thing with plant therapy. I didn't realize that taking care of plants and nurturing, especially being a person who is here by myself, you know, like
we'll touch on that.
Culture, you know, cultivating growth, you know, with greenery and helping with my grounding and just making me feel connected to Earth. Didn't realize that was gonna help me. So
wow. Listen, because I need that. So I'm definitely getting on the plant therapy. So if someone was to now they can just pretty much go on the website, correct?
Right, so right now we are not live now. So at this moment, like I said, we are still building the database for wellness providers, but we're also collecting information because we already have several people who have already signed up for the waiting list to say, when is this dropping?
Which I
think is amazing. The fact that people are looking out for it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is what it does. I want to see this.
Yeah.
And so the sooner I can get it out, the faster I can make the adjustments, you know, make changes and make it what we need.
Yeah. There you go. So, wow, rain well. We will drop the information in the description below. That is amazing what you are doing. So, it's beautiful. Like I said, it's beautiful to find how you found that purpose. And again, I think that's what Portugal be doing.
Yeah,
you know what
Portugal
I'm saying?
be opening you up.
Like it's just different. Wow, that's special. So let's go into Portugal and the transition again. So, what would you say being here you love most about Portugal? I know you were talking, you had mentioned before, but I also, we'll say after Rainwell. We'll say now, not when you just moved. We'll say now.
Yeah.
And then what would you say that you like least about Portugal?
That's good. Good question. So when it comes to now,
not when
post Rainwell, after I have gone through my challenges, I think what I love the most about Portugal is probably Rainwell. Honestly,
okay.
I think because I was able to find purpose here in a different way. It wasn't about it wasn't like purpose for me, you know what I mean? It was like I went through something and I don't want somebody else to go through this. And I believe, you know, being here in Portugal not only gave me the quality of life to be able to really flush it out, really like say, this is what is missing, this is what I'd like to work on for someone else. Like at this point I'm in a much more healthier state, right?
Yeah.
So
Wow.
But at the same time, oh my God, these the 911 folks are always, the ambulances but yeah, at this state, I feel like Portugal was fundamental in helping me flush out purpose. Something I would have never imagined. I'm a singer-songwriter. You know what I mean? I sing about hope, and I sing about faith, and I sing about, you know, things that try to make people feel happy and good and love and things. But I can't say for sure that I would ever have sung a song about mental health.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like it took me going through this, being separated from anyone and everyone that I know.
Yep. Because that happens. That happens when you're abroad, you know. So.
Yeah. So I think Portugal helped me flesh that out.
Yeah.
Give me the time, the space, and the freedom, the creativity to let it flow.
Yeah, that's special. That is special. That is special.
What I don't like.
What you don't like. Let's get to it. Let's get to it.
What I don't like.
Let's get to it.
I have to be honest. It's not much I don't like about Portugal. I think everybody has their challenges, you know. There are some passive aggressions that you see or notice from some people. And there might also be some challenges with locals who might not really take time to get to know you because they think you've come here with money and this and that. And so they kind of brush you off.
Okay.
Not everyone, but it does happen.
Okay.
But I wouldn't even say it's not something I don't like. I think, you know, I've taken my time to infuse into the community. I've tried my hardest to do that and, you know, and be a part of the local vibe because it's a vibe.
It's a vibe.
The
It's
local
a vibe. It's a vibe.
Like,
it's a vibe.
Yeah. And
Wow.
so I can't say there's much that I don't like about it. I mean, there's things I would love to fix.
Yeah.
But I didn't come here to fix Portugal. I came here to immerse and to be helpful and to contribute to a place that has been contributing to my well-being.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Wow. So next question. So when you moved out here, you moved out here alone, right? Correct. So
Me and Jesus.
So
let's just get that straight.
Yeah. So okay. So what did I love that. So from a female's perspective, right? So what advice would you give that person that's maybe hesitant back home, and not just from US, whether it's from the States, UK, that's just looking to go abroad in general? What advice would you give on just making that extra step, you know?
I think if you're struggling as a female, solo female, about if you should relocate to another country, I think once you've done your research and you've properly prepared yourself as best as you can, because you're never going to prepare for everything, like there's going to be things.
Yeah. That's good.
But so long as you are confident and this is where you want to start your life at this point in your life, if this wherever you've chosen to be, whether it's Portugal or some other country, be confident in your decision, you know, and be okay with the fact that there's going to be some things, things that you did not account for that's going to happen, and but that's also like part of like just getting situated,
and the journey, and yep.
Culture shock is still a thing, like you know what I mean. No matter how much you prepare for the culture, like there's still so much you don't know, and you just have to trust that you will have time to figure it out without bumping your head too many times. And that you meet really great people along the way who help you kind of cohesively get in there so that you don't have too much abrasion on some of that culture shock.
Okay. Wow, that's a great question. That's a great answer. Okay, so that being said, since you are coming from, we just have like two, three more, coming from the US, so you're coming from the US, what would you say you miss most about the US, if you miss anything at all? Because this
part,
yeah.
I miss my family.
I
do. I miss my family. I miss my son. I miss my son so much. I miss my son so much. But I also know that like he's a whole adult. So that part, right? So what can I do about that? I think that would probably be it. We just celebrated Thanksgiving, the American holiday. But honestly, I was here and I didn't miss the food and all that kind of stuff. What I did miss is, spending some time with my family.
The gathering of the family.
I did miss that.
So
that's probably it. I don't miss much else.
It ain't a long list. We sorry, US. It ain't a long list. So, following that question, what would you say your life would be like if you were still in the States at this time? Everybody's reaction to that question.
The way I I feel like I went to the sunken place, like from Get Out. I don't think I would. I can't even get the words out. I'm so glad I was able to go. I missed a lot of things that I wish my family didn't have to kind of go through. But at the same time, I feel like, we all make our decisions, we all make our choices, and some of us are meant to go and do things that others would never dream to do. And that's okay too. So, but I can't imagine if I would still have to be there. I think it would be suffocating in a lot of ways. So
wow, suffocating.
Not after being here for like 2+ years. Like, I can't even imagine going back. Like, I can't imagine going back. Like, if it wasn't just a visit. The visit is fine. I could definitely do that. Like, and it would be a short visit.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? 2.5 days type thing, It's
not that short, but I'm thinking like 1 week. 2 weeks, maybe.
That's okay. Makes sense. No, that's true. And then, so last one. So we'll talk about so your experience in here, the people, everything. Talk about health insurance, right? So, do you have private? Or?
I have private, and right now I'm kind of in transition. So I also have like what's available at the bank.
The bank So you can explain that process.
So just having once you have a Portuguese bank account, or even with some of the light companies, the facilities that they have on, you can actually get insurance. It's bare minimum things.
Okay.
Through EPAL. Is it EPAL? No, I'm sorry, that's water. EDP.
EDP,
offers some health, small health things that you can do, like minor going to the doctor visits and things like that. Also, my bank at TiVo, they also offer that. I was carrying the private insurance, but because I have been here so long and had not done much traveling, I did that mainly for the travel, right? To cover me through travel. But when I get ready to travel again, I can also just turn it back on. Right now, being a temporary resident, I'm within the healthcare system. So like I just went to the dentist the other day. I paid my my copay based off of that, and I'm covered. Of course, I have a larger amount to pay because I don't technically. They don't give you like full coverage until you are actually a resident. Right? So right now I have temporary residency for 2 years, and then they'll give me the full at the 5-year mark. I think. When I need it, I can turn it on if I'm traveling, but what I have is sufficient.
So, and would you say, even though you still don't have that full, would you say it's a lot more affordable than the US, for example?
Oh, absolutely. I think I mean €9.99, right? And €9.99, and then €3.99. €3.99 for a dental. So and granted, it doesn't cover everything, but still, I can take care of what I need to. I'm getting wisdom teeth pulled. Like, you don't want to know. Matter of fact, I think I had the paper right in front of me. The wisdom, I have it somewhere. I don't know if it's up there, but literally the receipt or what they broke down for me was going to be like maybe €500 or something like that.
Wow.
To remove all wisdom teeth.
In
the States, they had easily quoted me $2,700.
Damn.
Like $2,700.
It's way different. It's way different.
So it's good. Like, thankfully, we eat well here. The food is not over processed, so I have not had any ailments. Like at most, maybe a little cold, and that's probably just don't be touching the elevator stuff.
Exactly. It's way different lifestyle. So we'll wrap it up. Listen, tell them about we touched on Ringwell, but she is way too humble. It's kind of low-key getting on my nerves, but you need to start yelling from the rooftops about your music. You have a voice of an angel, so tell them about it. Did you start music in Portugal? Was this before? I'm
gonna try to make that a short story. Short story is, I have been in the industry the majority of my live music industry.
Oh, okay, I didn't know.
But I was out of the industry for 8 years.
Oh.
So I hung up my towel. I was just singing in church only before I left.
Okay.
My last album was in 2015.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, I guess I really wanted to do more music, but I just didn't have the time. USA, right? But once I got here, I had more time, and all of a sudden music started flowing. I was writing, and I performed at one place. Shouts out to Waka Kungos. Oh my God, my fam over there, I love them. Isaac, oh gosh, so amazing. I got, plugged in to just doing a show with them, and it just it was amazing. It was like after that, I was like, oh my God, you sing. Can you sing here? Can you sing here? Can you sing here? And within 1 year, I had sang like just about everywhere.
Was that at the LX Factory?
Yeah.
That's wow, that's crazy. So that was your first gig here?
No, that wasn't my first one. That was already like my third one there.
Oh, okay.
Was that the first one you saw?
That's the first one I went to. Yeah. So I'm like, yo, who this angel from left side of heaven? Like, so that was wow, that was amazing.
Crazy, right?
It felt like it was a while ago.
It was a year ago.
Yeah.
When I first got here, that first year was amazing. The second year I got here is when I hit
that's what happens.
Slammed into the wall, and
that's the test.
But it's beautiful because coming out of that also, I started singing songs that were different, and obviously more, potent with emotion, and ultimately wrote a song that I'll be releasing on an EP very soon. I'm trying to get it out by my birthday in March. We'll see.
Okay.
But it's gonna be with Love from Lisbon.
Okay,
and it's just about all of my experiences here and how I've experienced love in so many different ways. And I got to sing the single on television already here, which is insane.
Wow, what? You see, I told y'all.
Out of music for 8 years. As soon as I got back into it, it was like it just blew up again. That's been really beautiful.
Wow, that's special. That's special. Listen, GIEL, singer, songwriter, mental health advocate. Make sure you check her out. Well, Rainwell, when it's available, we'll provide you with the information. Is there any way they can check out your music?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm everywhere. Hey, it's GIEL. Hey, like HEYITSGIEL. I'm also on GIELmusiconline.com, but anytime you type my name in on any platform you listen to your music, you can find it. And of course, you can always get more information at rainwell.com.
Okay, perfect.
With one L.
With one L. Rainwell with one L. So listen, GIEL, thank you so much for being on the LaBoss Show, episode 3, Life Abroad in Portugal. Make sure you like this video. Comment below questions that you have that you want me to address for the next video, topics, conversations, whatever it is. Very excited, and subscribe to the channel, baby. We just getting started. So listen,
we ain't made it yet.
We ain't made it yet. Yes. She already knows. So this is my
know.
brand. Life is a journey. We ain't make it yet. Emphasizing on we because we were all in this together, and none of us have to go through this alone. So I'll drop information on the link as well. And we to the next one. See you later.